Episode 96, So Cute in Cross-Dressing. The Feeling of Getting Rich Overnight. Ningxi was about to run towards the woman when she suddenly noticed several men with long guns descending from the helicopter behind her. Seeing this, Ningxi hurriedly shouted at Batty and the useless big boss Zeus next to her, "Run!" As Ningxi led the two to a safe hiding spot, there was immediately a burst of crazy machine gun fire and screams in her ears. Hiding in the shadows, Ningxi wiped away her sweat. Damn it, if she had reacted 1 second later, she might not have died at the hands of the assassin but would have been killed by her own people. After about 10 minutes, the outside returned to silence. Jeffrey and those assassins, without a doubt, had all been wiped out. Batty and the useless big boss Zeus beside her were both almost scared out of their wits. If this woman hadn't suddenly reminded them, they would have become Swiss cheese by now. After the gunfire outside stopped, Ningxi couldn't restrain her excitement any longer. She immediately jumped out and ran towards the woman. Before she could even give the woman a bear hug, the next second, a fierce gust of punches directly attacked her face. Ningxi quickly bent down, avoiding that dreadful punch. Just as she dodged that strike, an even more intense attack came like a storm, leaving her no room to catch her breath. In the blink of an eye, the two sides exchanged more than 20 moves. Ningxi had no chance to counterattack at all, only able to defend and evade. At this point, the opponent seemed to make a surprised sound. Following that, the offensive became even more terrifying, each move a lethal strike. Ningxi was utterly miserable, struggling to cope, with no opportunity to speak. Any distraction would lead to a fatal blow. Finally, after 100 moves, Ningxi's physical strength reached its limit. Her shoulder was grazed by the opponent's fist, causing a fiery pain. But just when she was about to collapse, the opponent's hand suddenly stopped at her throat. The next second, it seemed like they intended to twist her neck. In this life-or-death situation, Ningxi shouted loudly, "Third senior sister." The opponent's 5 fingers had exerted 3 points of force. Upon hearing Ningxi's voice, they abruptly eased up. A voice came from the other side, mixed with suspicion and alertness. "Who are you?" It's me. I'm Xiaoxi." Ningxi desperately gasped. "Xiaoxi?" The woman's hand strangling Ningxi's throat suddenly retracted. Ningxi finally breathed a sigh of relief, bent over, and coughed violently. "Third senior sister, you're too ruthless. Haven't seen each other for so long, and you want to take my life when we meet." The woman stared at Ningxi with a puzzled and wary expression for a long time. Finally, her cold and numb expression turned into excitement and joy. In an instant, she pounced on Ningxi, rubbing her chest against Ningxi's. "Damn. Xiaoxi, it's you? You actually look so cute in women's clothing. So cute and adorable. Sister wants to hug you." Cough, cough, cough. "Sister, I'm being suffocated by your chest. Although this is the dream of many men, I still don't want to die. You annoying brat, I hate you." The beautiful woman released her grip on Ningxi, then changed her tone. "No, it should be you, damn girl. I was just thinking, who's so bold and daring, actually daring to attack me from behind? I never expected it to be you. Third senior sister, you didn't recognize me just now? Didn't you find my moves familiar?" Ningxi was speechless. "You dodged my moves quite skillfully, but I never expected it to be a fellow disciple of mine. Among my fellow disciples, none of them have such lousy skills." The woman spoke with an air of indifference. Ningxi made a face as if she wanted to spit blood. "Senior sister, can you use gentler words? Damn girl, I haven't scolded you yet. What are you up to? In the past, although your skills were bad, you could still exchange a few moves with me. Now you can't even handle one move, your body is weak, and your steps are floating. It's obvious you haven't been training at all this year. If master finds out, he might break your legs." Feng Xiaoxiao scolded angrily. Ningxi touched her nose. "I've been busy. I don't have time for that." At this moment, a tall and handsome companion of Feng Xiaoxiao walked over, staring at Ningxi with interest. "Hey, Xiaoxiao, who is this little white rabbit?" Feng Xiaoxiao kicked him away. "Get lost. You're the little white rabbit. This is my junior sister. Dare to have any funny ideas, and I'll break your third leg." The man covered his crotch and quickly ran away. Feng Xiaoxiao then looked warningly at the others and turned to chat intimately with Ningxi. "How is it? Is being a star fun?" "It's quite fun. If third senior sister is interested, you can come and play a cameo next time." Ningxi chuckled. Feng Xiaoxiao ruffled her hair. "You, this brat, can't sustain interest in anything. One moment you're into this, the next moment into that. You never have a stable interest. When you said you wanted to act back then, I thought you were just trying something new and would be back after a few days. Who knew that you'd be away for more than a year? I was afraid of seeing senior sister reluctant to leave, Ningxi said flatteringly. Feng Xiaoxiao glared at her, then asked suspiciously, by the way, I haven't asked you yet. How did you end up here? Ningxi sighed. It's a long story. I was originally waiting for you at your place. Unexpectedly, someone came to your house to assassinate you. Worried that you were in danger, after dealing with those assassins, I followed a group of lackeys all the way here. I finally found you, but I almost got killed by you. Feng Xiaoxiao immediately gave her an affectionate hug, patting her head while asking, how did you suddenly come to find me? Do you have urgent business? Ningxi, leaning against Feng Xiaoxiao, walked to a quiet corner and said, Third senior sister, I do have something urgent to ask you for help with, a small favor. What favor? Senior sister will definitely help. Senior sister, can you help me investigate someone? Investigate? That's easy. No matter who it is, I'll dig up their family history for you. Satan. Who did you say? I said I'd like to ask you to help me investigate Satan. The confident Feng Xiaoxiao suddenly hesitated and changed her tune without any hesitation. I refuse. Ningxi pulled her hand, shaking it. Third senior sister, please. Only you can help me. Feng Xiaoxiao's face darkened. Why do you want to investigate that guy? I have my reasons. Ningxi continued shaking her hand. Feng Xiaoxiao massaged her forehead. It's not that I don't want to help you, but I really can't investigate this person. If you really want to know, why not ask him face to face? If I could ask him, would I need to find you for help? Then go ask the eldest senior brother? Feng Xiaoxiao began to deflect. How could the eldest senior brother tell me? Third senior sister, please, help me. I know you care for me the most. Ningxi clung to her. Feng Xiaoxiao looked helpless. Damn, where did you learn these tricks? How come your personality changed when you switched to women's clothing? No wonder I suggested you try women's clothing before, and you refused to change. If those guys from your organization see you like this, they'll be like wolves seeing meat. Come on, third senior sister, I only do this to you. Feng Xiaoxiao, feeling helpless, said, Alright, I give up. I can help you investigate, but don't expect too much. You also know how deep that person's background is. Besides, for the investigation, you have to give me a direction, right? Ningxi thought for a moment, then used her finger to write 3 words in Feng Xiaoxiao's palm. Feng Xiaoxiao frowned. Lu Tingxiao, the business tycoon from the Huaxia country? Ningxi nodded. Yes, I want to know if Satan has any connection with this person. How could these two be related? Also, what's your relationship with Lu Tingxiao? Feng Xiaoxiao was puzzled. Ningxi evaded the question. It's nothing. The entertainment company I'm with now is a subsidiary of the Lu Group. He's my boss. Just that? Feng Xiaoxiao squinted, showing a completely incredulous expression. At this moment, a shout came from not far away. Xiaoxiao, let's go. Say goodbye to your little white rabbit quickly. We still have a mission. Feng Xiaoxiao looked regretful. Sorry, my dear, I have to go. Ningxi also looked reluctant. Be careful. Oh, right, there's one very important thing. Wait a moment. Feng Xiaoxiao was about to board the plane when she stuck her head out again, took out her phone, and snapped a picture of Ningxi. Ha ha ha. Little junior sister in women's clothing, I have to show this to the senior brothers. Ningxi was speechless. Really? After Feng Xiaoxiao and the others left, Captain Batty and the useless leader of Solomon, Zeus, finally came out nervously. Do you know that woman? Batty looked frightened. Zeus was also surprised. You even called her third senior sister. If I didn't read it wrong, that woman is an A-level mercenary on the original sin list. The goal had been achieved, and Ningxi had no mood to stay longer. She had truly had enough excitement for tonight. Ignoring the two of them, she walked away directly. Zeus hurriedly chased after her and shouted, Boss, where are you going? Ningxi almost stumbled and almost fell. Who are you calling boss? Of course, it's you. Huh? Zeus immediately knelt down on one knee and said solemnly, You saved me and killed Jefferson. In Solomon, strength is respected. Only you have the qualifications to be the new boss of Solomon. Strength is respected? How can you say such a thing? Ningxi yawned. Sorry, I refuse. After saying that, she didn't care about how Zeus persuaded her from behind. She waved her hand and walked away. Back at the hotel, Ningxi took a shower, lay on the bed, and although her body was extremely tired, she had no sleepiness at all. Her mind was full of gunshots and the smell of blood, even a fear of returning to the life she had never left. Ningxi rubbed her hair, sat up, looked at the time on her phone, and at this time, it should be daytime in China. So she opened WeChat, found Lu Bokai, and sent a text message, "Boss, I got the endorsement for the Noble perfume." After sending it, just as she was about to put down her phone, there was a buzzing sound, and the other side immediately replied, "Congratulations." Soon, another message came, "Is it that you haven't slept, or did you get up early?" Ningxi naturally dared not say that she hadn't slept all night, so she replied, "Got up early. I'm going to the advertising studio later to discuss the details with the director. When will you be back?" Ningxi reported seriously, "If everything goes well, I can finish filming in 2 days. After filming, I want to go shopping for some things, so I'll probably be back in about 3 days. Ziji's company has something to do, and she'll leave the day after tomorrow. Okay, got it. Good luck. After texting with Lu Tingxiao, Ningxi finally felt a little sleepy. Before starting work, she took advantage of the time to get some rest. In a certain 5-star hotel in Los Angeles, early in the morning, Li Leiling was furious. "I don't care. You are my agent, and you must find a solution for me. Otherwise, do you want me to go back home in such embarrassment? I've already told Xuelua that I got this role." The agent looked helpless. "Liling, since the results came out, I've used all my connections to try to find a solution for you. However, you have to understand that Cook is not only the director of this commercial but also the artistic director of Noble. The spokesperson is entirely up to him. No matter what connections we have, it's useless. Why don't you just go directly to Cook? Whatever amount of money he wants is fine." The agent hurriedly advised, "Liling, don't be impulsive. Do you think I haven't thought of that? The environment overseas is different from the domestic one. Those foreigners don't buy into these tactics, especially someone like Cook, who considers art as his life." I probed his assistant a bit, and Cook is completely fascinated by that Ningxi now. He even regards her as his muse. Trying to change his mind, unless... "Unless what?" Li Leiling asked anxiously. "Unless you have a way to impress him more than Ningxi." The agent spoke the truth, but it immediately hit a nerve with Li Leiling. She exploded on the spot, "If I had a way, why would I need you? Useless. So stupid. You can't even handle such a small matter. You deserve to be overshadowed by Lin Jiji for a lifetime." The agent was scolded, and his face turned pale. He thought, "I'm overshadowed by Lin Jiji because you don't have the strength. So much money was invested, and so many good resources were given to you, but you couldn't even make a name for yourself. How can you blame me for that?" At this moment, the doorbell suddenly rang. The agent walked over, opened the door, and looked surprised at the person outside. "Miss Ning? Why are you here?" "What? Xuelua is here?" Li Leiling hurriedly got up and walked to the door, only to see Ning Xuelua standing there, looking a bit dusty. She said in surprise, "Xuelua, why are you here? Come in quickly." Ning Xuelua sat down on the sofa and looked at Li Leiling. She went straight to the point, "I've heard about the endorsement for Noble." Li Leiling's face stiffened. "Xuelua, I'm sorry. You gave up such a good opportunity for me, but I messed it up." Ning Xuelua pulled her to sit next to her, consoling her, "Liling, don't blame yourself. How can you be blamed for such a thing? You didn't know either." Li Leiling looked at Ning Xuelua, and her eyes suddenly brightened. She excitedly suggested, "Xuelua, why don't you go find Director Cook? You gave up the audition for my sake, but things have turned out like this now. We can't let that Ningxi benefit from it. With your ability, you can definitely defeat her." Ning Xuelua's expression froze at the suggestion. Purely relying on strength is useless. This Ningxi is most adept at scheming. We, who have been raised in a sheltered environment, can't compete with her in that aspect. It's my fault for not checking in advance that Ningxi also got an audition spot. Otherwise, I could have warned you to be careful earlier. In reality, Ning Xuelua didn't even enter the preliminary round. She deliberately lied to Li Leiling, saying that she didn't sign up just to save face and also sell her a favor. It was a 2-for-1 deal. Therefore, she, who had been eliminated in the first round, would be immediately exposed if she went to find Cook. Li Leiling didn't notice any strangeness in Ning Xuelua's expression. She complained bitterly, "I knew she must have used some dirty tricks. I thought I really lost to her. Xuelua, what should I do now? I have no face to return to the country. Ning Xuelua thought for a moment and then spoke. Noble has already announced the selection publicly. It's impossible to reverse it now. However, we can try to minimize the impact of this incident. The audition happened abroad, and only a few people know about it. As long as we maintain good relationships with them, they won't spread the word. After all, we are all on the same side in this embarrassing situation, and those people, who hasn't been defeated by Ningxi, they won't gossip. We'll invite them to the newly opened flagship store of history in Los Angeles tomorrow. We can present them with a few high-end custom-made items, build connections, and subtly hint. Everyone will understand. Li Leilang's expression eased a bit at these words. You're right. So, don't worry. You're on the same side as them. Besides, history has just opened a flagship store in Los Angeles. Tomorrow, I'll take you there to invite them. We can give them a few high-end custom-made items, exchange ideas, and drop a hint. Everyone will understand. The agent couldn't help but speak. This idea is good. History has been particularly popular in the industry lately. Many female stars are proud to wear clothes designed by the chief designer Dai Wei. Li Leilang hooked her arm around Ning Xuelua's, appearing intimate. Of course. Snow, you have a good eye. You chose that designer at a glance. You established a clothing brand for him, and he became famous with one shot. I'm just lucky. Ning Xuelua modestly replied. On the third day of Ningxi's arrival in Los Angeles, the shooting for the Noble commercial was successfully completed, and she would be returning to China tomorrow. The endorsement fee Ningxi received was 3 million, 10 times the original amount. The feeling of getting rich overnight was indeed exhilarating. Now, she could finally indulge in some shopping. Ningxi's favorite unknown clothing brand, Chong, was recently acquired and renamed History. It was said to be developing quite well, receiving acclaim not only in the entertainment industry but also among the upper-class circles. The sensation of having a treasure that only she knew about suddenly become widely known was a bit disappointing, but the joy outweighed the regret. As the brand continued to thrive, it would undoubtedly create more classic works. Conveniently, History had recently opened a branch in Los Angeles, and there were many styles that were not available in China. Ningxi planned to go for a stroll. Upon entering the store, Ningxi felt her eyes light up. Indeed, there were many styles she hadn't seen in China, and almost every piece aroused her desire to buy. The only regret was that the prices of the clothes had skyrocketed. Buying a piece from this brand now would cost at least 10 times the previous price. Miss, do you have any favorites? You can try them on. You won't know the effect until you put them on. The salesperson politely greeted. Well, let me take a look first. They all look good. I'm a bit dazzled. Ningxi smiled. The salesperson chuckled and asked, Miss, are you from Huaxia? Yes. Although our brand is popular overseas, clothes designed by Huaxia people look more charming when worn by Huaxia people. Miss, you have a good foundation, and your temperament is very classical. Our clothes should suit you well. I've always been a loyal fan of this brand. I started supporting it before it became History. Ningxi replied modestly.